Hi guys, welcome to this video. I am here to talk about my May movie wrap-up. I talk about all the movies that I watched in May, and I talk about the ones that I watched for the first time, but I do still briefly tell you about the movies that I rewatched. So, let's just go ahead and get started, because I did actually watch a good amount of movies this month. As always, we are going to start with the rewatches. She's the Man, The Little Mermaid, Holes, Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle, The Death Cure, Game Night, and The Greatest Showman. And now let's talk about the movies I watched for the first time. The first one being John Mulaney, Kid Gorgeous. This, I don't know if we count it as a movie, but I'm gonna count it as a movie because I want to talk about it. But this is John Mulaney's newest stand-up comedy routine, and I have watched some of his other ones before, but I think this one is definitely his best. I was laughing hysterically for the entire hour. I mean, I watched this 2 times this month because I just love it, and now that I'm talking about it, I really want to watch it again. I just feel like the jokes are so original, and even the second time watching it, I found the jokes so funny. Even maybe watching it like the 3rd or 4th or 5th time, I may still find the jokes super funny. So I highly recommend this comedy special on Netflix. Go check it out. John Mulaney, Kid Gorgeous, 5 out of 5 stars. The next movie I watched is Overboard. We follow Kate, who is a working single mom, and Leonardo, who is a spoiled rich guy, and Kate gets fired by him when she goes to try to clean his yacht. He then parties too hard on his yacht, falls off the yacht, wakes up, has amnesia, can't remember who he is or just anything. And so Kate decides that she's going to pretend to be his wife and act on some revenge. And she puts him to work. She makes him work hard as a dad for her 3 kids. And she makes him work as, she gets him a job as a construction worker. So he learns the value of like hard work. But at the same time, his rich family are trying to find him. I love romantic comedies, and this I definitely enjoyed very, very much, and I loved the whole like telenovela aspect to it too, because there were a lot of things that were very out there and just so crazy and very soap opera-esque that you're like, this would never happen in real life, but yet it feels so real in the moment as you're watching the movie. And I felt the romance was sweet, even though it did start off really weird and in an illegal way, but still very sweet. So it wasn't like anything special, but I still had a fun time, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next movie I watched is Life of the Party. I really liked this one a lot. Pretty much we follow a mom who is going through a divorce that came out of nowhere, and the one thing that she regrets is that she never got her college degree. So she decides to go back to college, the exact place where her daughter goes to college. So of course at first the daughter is like very hesitant about this happening, but I think her and her friends really come to accept that her mom is at the school, and they like form this friendship, and it's really great and I love it. I think this is more about her, the mom, played by Melissa McCarthy. I feel like it's more about her finding out her life and what she wants to do, and finding out about herself without a husband. It was like endearing, but also so hysterical. I found myself laughing out loud so much throughout this movie. I did, however, have 2 issues with it. The first one is not too big of an issue, but I just couldn't believe the romance that happened, because Melissa McCarthy's character creates like a romance with this college guy, but this college guy just seemed way too obsessed with her for it to be believable that that would actually happen. But the other thing I had a big issue with was Debbie Ryan's character. I'm not a huge fan of Debbie Ryan to begin with, but she played the mean girl, because, you know, every school story has to have a mean girl, which I was whatever, fine with. It was like she was mean, and then at the end she was nice, and there was no like middle that told us how we got to that point. Like, okay, she's nice now, we like her now, but like why? Because I feel like I would have liked a scene where Debbie Ryan and Melissa McCarthy maybe had like a talk and then like things got resolved, like that would have been fine. But overall, really loved this movie. Gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next movie I watched was Harry and Meghan, A Royal Romance. This was just one of those movies where I saw that it was a thing and I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood for a sappy, cheesy romance, so yes, let's watch it. So it's not the greatest in the world, but I still enjoyed it. We follow, obviously, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and their romance, like how they met, how they fell in love, all the way to right before their wedding happens. And I don't have a lot to say about this movie. I mean, it was cute. There wasn't a lot of substance to it. I felt like they actually found some really great actors who did fairly well for a Lifetime movie, but also looked so much like the real Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Like, I almost thought that it was actually them acting. It was, oh my god, I don't know how they found such great lookalikes. 2.5 out of 5 stars, because it's not great, but I didn't mind it. The next movie I watched was Tully. This is about a mom who has 2 kids and just gave birth to a 3rd kid, and so she's like really struggling. So she hires a night nanny to help take care of the baby while at nighttime so she can actually sleep. And she ends up forming a bond with the night nanny, and they become like really close friends, and it kind of turns out that the night nurse is helping Marlo, the mom, who is played by Charlize Theron, who does an incredible job, but just kind of like ends up helping her. But then of course the ending, I don't want to ruin the ending, but it did come out of nowhere for me. I did not see the ending coming. It really like made it a very real story. But I was kind of bored by this. The story, I don't know, the story just didn't hold my interest. Like, I felt it was good, like the acting was great, and I felt like everything about the movie was good. I just couldn't get invested in this story. However, the emotions and the depression that Marlo experiences throughout this movie I thought were told very well. I will say the sex scene weirded me out. I mean, by the end of the movie, it made me feel a little bit better about that scene, but I still just feel so weird. I felt so uncomfortable in that theater watching that scene. I was fine with it, but it's not one I'm ever gonna want to watch again, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next movie that I watched is Book Club. This, I liked it a lot better than I thought I was going to. We follow 4 friends in their 60s who are dealing with different types of relationships. You have the divorced woman, you have the woman who's been single her whole life, never been married, you have the woman who's still very happily married, they're just now having a few like sexual problems, if that makes any sense. Then we also follow one who is a widow. So all the different relationship spectrums we've got. These ladies have been in a book club for years, and this month they decide to read 50 Shades of Grey, and it just changes their lives and their relationships forever. I just wanted to add that forever in there, even though who knows if it was forever. This was definitely a rom-com, which I love, that deals very heavily with friendship, another thing I love, but it was for like a generation that doesn't normally get represented so much, especially as lead characters. So I thought that was great, and I thought the actors had really great chemistry with each other. They definitely felt like friends. I feel like maybe they are friends in real life. I liked how they read all 3 books in the series. I have not read a single one of these books, and I don't ever plan to, but I liked how the titles of each book that they read kind of coincided with what was happening in their lives. So 50 Shades of Grey was the beginning. They were like sexually awakened again, if that's the best way to explain it. But then the next book is 50 Shades Darker, and the movie did get darker. Their lives got darker. Like, things kind of got like misunderstood, and just it got a little messy. But then the last book is called 50 Shades Freed. you know, typical ending. So I don't want to ruin anything, but at the same time I want to explain the movies. But yes, so I like that. Other than that, I felt the script was definitely very lacking, but still enjoyed it. So I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next movie that I watched was Show Dogs. I don't know why I decided to go to the theater and see this. I did. I wasn't expecting a lot from it, and it didn't deliver a lot. But this is a movie about a detective and a dog who is also a cop. They team up together to solve a crime that has to do with a dog show. It was lame. It was stupid. It was not really that funny. And I honestly didn't like the main two characters. I felt like they were very unlikable. I mean, I definitely think it's a good movie for kids. Like, kids will like it, but adults may have some problems watching it because it's just not that great. But I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. On to the next movie I watched, which was Ibiza. I think that's how you pronounce it. Or Ibiza. There we go. That's how you pronounce it. Ibiza. In this movie, we follow Harper, who is going on a business trip to Barcelona, and her 2 friends convince her that they should tag along. She ends up ditching work to go and follow a DJ to Ibiza. Saying it out loud definitely makes the storyline so much more questionable. Because watching it, I was like, yes, go follow that DJ, girl. Get it. Because he was cute. I get it. He was cute. He was really nice. He was funny. I liked him a lot. I probably would have followed him to Ibiza as well, but I would have been very conflicted about work, which she was, but I would have been so conflicted that I would have stayed and just not gone after the guy. So this movie was fun, but at the same time, I had so much anxiety watching it because they made so many decisions and they did so many things that just made me feel like this movie was about to turn into Taken 4. And I was expecting them to, like, get kidnapped and have Liam Neeson come and try and save them. Like, it just terrified me the whole time watching it. I kept being like, oh, this is where it happens. This is where they get taken. Nope, no, it's not? Okay. Oh, so, okay. That random stranger they talked to is actually telling the truth? Okay. Whew. Also, this is definitely a movie where if you don't like EDM music, and if you don't like drugs, this is not the movie for you, because that stuff is happening the entire movie. They're constantly doing drugs and going to like EDM concerts, and it's always in the background of the movie. But like I said earlier, I did very much enjoy the romance. I liked the DJ, and I liked her and him together trying to like make it happen, I guess, but being like so awkward about it. It was really cute and I liked it. I did find it funny, but I felt like all the funny parts were in the trailer, so then watching it, it was like there wasn't anything new for me to laugh at. So that was that movie. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And then the last movie that I watched this month was Backstreet Boys, Show 'Em What You're Made Of. This is a documentary about Backstreet Boys, all the way from when they started till now, and they even talk about their childhoods and where they come from. I found it interesting to learn about all this stuff that I actually didn't know about the Backstreet Boys, but at the same time, I found myself like checking out and then like coming back and then like checking out again, and just like, I don't know, I kept just losing interest. Which felt so upsetting because I do very much love the Backstreet Boys. I couldn't stay focused watching this movie, and I don't know if that was the movie's fault or if it was my fault and there was just like so much going on in my life that I had to keep like thinking about other things. I don't know, but in the end it was interesting, just not interesting enough to keep me focused on it. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And that is it. Those are all the movies that I watched this month. There were 9 of them. I think it was 9 or 10. Can't remember. I've never actually counted them. But I am happy with the movies that I watched this month, I guess. I don't know. There weren't actually... Never mind. This was an okay month movie-wise. So hopefully June will be more of a solid movie month. And yes, definitely go and check out my reading wrap-up for May, as well as my all-around, in general, just life wrap-up for May. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!